Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Renee Allen and Friends Show. We have a wonderful guest in the studio. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. Right.
Miss Renee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Renee Starlin Allen, the host of the Renee Allen and Friends Show here on WLVS Radio, the largest online radio broadcast in the United States. Well, this platform is for people to really know what's going on, not just locally, but globally.
Oh, I love it. They say you're the man's the head, but we're the neck, and we put them wherever we want to put them. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
I want you to just talk about a few pieces, and then the fundraiser, because that's what I'm excited about.
Okay. We forgot about love. Beautiful love.
Bringing you the best in entertainment, entrepreneurship, business owners, the whole gamut. It's so exciting. I am so impressed. The vibrancy in the car and the details. Can we hold one up?
Oh, absolutely. I'll hold on. I'll hold up one of my absolute favorites.
So you really can't judge a book by its cover, and pageants are about beauty and brains and what you can bring to the platform.
'Cause girl, when you're here, nothing goes wrong. Yes, I need you everything.
Bringing you the finest in chefs in the DMV.
Oh my goodness. Wow, this is awesome. Thank you so much. Smoked pulled pork.
So everybody wave to your parents. You are looking at Somerset's finest, the sophisticated ladies. Yes! Thank you so much, ladies. And I hope to see you on my set one day. Thank you. God bless you. And we're going to be doing a lot of collaboration and a lot of great things together. Glory to God. Bam! Boom! Ta-da!
Oh, yeah. We right here, y'all.
Something you never had, you need to do something you've never done.
Yes.
We gon' sing right here. Yeah, Miss Renee. Oh, yeah. We gon' do it here. Right here in Listen Vision, y'all. Oh, yeah. Miss Renee. I like how you sing it.
Thank you, Mustafa.
Girl, I like how you sing it now.
Thank you, Mustafa.
And where we at now?
Miss Renee Show.
Hello. Welcome to the Renee Allen and Friends Show. We have a wonderful guest in the studio. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. Right.
Miss Renee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Renee Starlin Allen, the host of the Renee. Hello, and welcome to the Renee Allen and Friends Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a beautiful evening in the nation's capital, right across from Howard University. Yes, I don't have my bell. Woo, ding, ding, ding. But I'm so excited. We have a wonderful, wonderful show for you tonight. First of all, let's talk about the sponsors. Navetica, your pet's choice. It's a revolutionary and innovative company that is giving opportunities for your pet to live a healthier and healthier life. I am so in love with these products. We all love our pets. They're like our little babies. And so I think, right at the bottom of the screen, you can actually go to navetica.shop/petparents and just browse at your leisure, take a pet assessment, and in doing so, it's a free pet assessment. It takes about 5 minutes, and what will happen is you will get a suggested customized regimen just for your furry loved ones, just to fill in the nutritional gaps that they're missing. Also, the Power Networking Conference. Yes! I have been going for the past 8 years. I was introduced to it by Sisters for Sisters Network, Peggy Morris and the whole shebang. And it's just a network of people, business people. It's just wonderful. And Dr. George C. Frazier, who is the mastermind behind it, has a conference every June, July, usually in July. And it used to be right here at the Gaylord at the National Harbor, but they're going to Houston, y'all, Houston, Texas. There you are. And they have Damon and so many wonderful people come and pour into you and for your business owners. So I'm really excited about that. And guess what? George is here tonight. Woo! I'm so excited. He's like a walking legacy legend. And let me tell you something. Forbes Magazine calls his conference one of the top 5 in the world not to miss. So you're really in for a treat. Also, I wanted to show a reel in reference to a wonderful event coming up. It's on the TIS Foundation. Yes, Flavor, they say he's like Beyonce over in Nigeria. So Flavor, he is thebomb.com. Of course, Congresswoman Diane Watson will be honored with a plethora of wonderful guests. Nancy Pelosi, my goodness, Giselle off of the Potomac Housewives. Guy Lambert, one of my favorite in the media, will be there. So many people. Inkla, the cosmetics. There's so many. It's just going to be a wonderful event. So do you have that video, Igor? Yes. Hope you enjoy, y'all. Yes.
Now, Mr. Flavor upon the dance or the done now. Hello, my people. My name is Flavor, and I'll be performing live in Washington, D.C. on the 6th of June 2019 at the Marriott Marquis. Join me as we celebrate 25 years of community assistance by TIS Foundation. Mr. Flavor will be there live, so everybody come out. It's going to be fun.
Your honey pot, my number one in town. If you cooking, I cook up, begin, I cook. Anywhere she enter, baby, they cost us a lot. Baby, more, sweetie, more.
You caught me. Igor, you didn't tell me you were getting ready to do live again. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. Well, listen, speaking of exquisite events, we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to bring back not only a friend of mine, but a friend to the community and to so many cancer survivors and family members of them. She is just a beautiful person. She's going to bring the sunshine in with her. Watch when I tell you when you see her. And I missed her wonderful event, which I was looking forward to going to last week for some personal issues. And I'm telling you, she's here. And we're going to talk about her wonderful event, talk about what she's doing. And we're even going to have a surprise call-in. I don't even think I told her. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Up just a dial tone. Was it you? Could it be? I'm just imagining how it used to be. I was born, wanna be alone. I guess I never really got it, but now I know it's not about me always getting my way. It's not about always looking for a change. I figured it out the second I walked away. It's all about the little things, all about discovering. You got me. It's all about the way I felt when you came around, and the way you picked me up when I was down. 'Cause it's all about the little things, all about remembering, all about the way it used to be. You see, it's all about the little things. Oh, I miss the little things. I take a ride, gotta get outside, pull the windows down, trying to clear my mind. Where are you? Could you be feeling the same as me? Do you think of me? It's not about me needing any more space. It's not about everything will be okay. I figured it out, but then it was too late. Oh, it's all about the little things, all about discovering, all about the way you got me. It's all about the way I felt when you came around, and the way you picked me up when I was down. Welcome
back to the Renee Allen and Friends show. I am sitting here with one of my favorite, and you have to stand in line because people love this woman, and you're going to see why. Gayla Bynum is one of the most bright, inner, illuminating souls that I've met. And she just, well, Gayla, why don't we start off by just talking a little bit about you before what just happened last weekend?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. This is great. We had our 10th anniversary gala at the National Women's Museum of the Arts on 13th and New York Avenue on Friday night.
Yes.
And in addition to it being our 10th year anniversary, we honored Mama Carmo as our Celebration of Life honoree. Mama was a 13-year cancer survivor. When my daughter-in-law passed away in 2011, she honored Michelle posthumously. So my son and grandson came to Washington from Austin, Texas to accept the award. So for our 10th anniversary, we wanted to honor Mama, and my grandson presented Mama the award. It was very special evening.
Yes, wonderful. Listen, I want them to know a little bit about you because although you've been a friend to the show and have come a few times, I want them to know a little bit about you for the viewers, just a little bit about why you started We Will Survive Cancer, and from your heart, why you continue to do so much work when you don't have to.
Well, that's a very, very interesting question. I've said, and what I said on Friday night is that it's because of God. This is a God thing.
Come on now.
I did not have cancer myself. My daughter-in-law was diagnosed with cancer in 2005, and she should have been diagnosed when she was pregnant with my grandson, Reed. Wow. But 13 months later, the lump in her breast had grown, and by the time that she was diagnosed, she had advanced stage 3 breast cancer. Wow. So she lived 5.5 years after that. But the really special thing about Michelle was that instead of pulling the covers over her head and saying, oh, woe is me, she jumped in and formed a team called Michelle's Angels for the Coleman Austin Walk. So in that, she was diagnosed in September of 2005. The walk in Austin was in November. And in that time frame, she raised over $25,000 with her friends and family and us and all of the people that were around her. So in 2009, by that time, she'd raised over $125,000 for Coleman in Austin. They made her their spokesperson. Yeah. And she came to Washington. We had a couple of fundraisers for her. And in the process, the first fundraiser was at Lisa Spoden's house. And you know Lisa.
Yes.
We formed a team and decided that we're going to do our own. We started out with the name of Michelle's Angels, but we changed it to We Will Survive Cancer. Because what we do is that we take care of families that with all cancers. It's not just devoted to breast cancer. And we're not looking for a cure. We're just trying to help the families. Yeah. That was the inspiration of Michelle because she had great support from her family, her mother and father, her friends. My son was amazing and cooked all of the food, wouldn't let her eat anything that wasn't organic and fresh. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing experience, and I'd never really been around anyone with cancer, so it was very inspirational for me. And for whatever reason, it was put before me that I needed to do this.
Yeah, it's God. It's what you said at the beginning.
No,
of
it is. Yeah. And it's God because it's lasted 10 years. Because there have been many times that I've said, no, I cannot do this anymore.
I'm sure it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, trying to raise money. But then I'll get a phone call from someone like Ken Rochon and say, come on, let's write a book. Okay, so we did. We did a compilation of
Ken.
stories. Yeah.
And also we have someone on the line now, speaking of money.
Well, let me just finish. So Susan Smallwood last year, in one of those times when I'm like, I can't, how are we going to do our Christmas thing? brought Macy's on board.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing opportunity. They gave us a $10,000 grant, and we're forever grateful. We were able to almost double what we did the year before. And we want to do that this year because we got another $10,000 grant from them. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, and I actually asked her to call in, and she's on the line now because I did see the pictures, and we do have some pictures. If Igor, you don't mind showing some as we talk to Susan Smallwood. There you are, Gayla. You're always bringing the sunshine. Oh, you're so gorgeous. Susan, are you there?
I am here. Grand evening, ladies, and to the listening audience.
Welcome, welcome. I'm sitting here with our dear friend, Gayla. I wanted to bring you in because you have been such an angel to this organization.
Yes, she has.
Tell us a little bit of why you love Gayla so much and why you are doing so much to help this organization.
Well, that's an easy answer. So back in 2015, I formed Grandiosity Events, and Gayla's foundation, We Will Survive Cancer, was the first charity that Grandiosity Events produced an event for at Signature Flight Private Jet Hangar at BWI. Gayla was so gracious for that event. She has continuously supported me and Grandiosity Events throughout the year. So when Macy's contacted me last year, Macy's executive Julie Bates from Macy's Tyson's Corner asked me what foundation could they give $10,000 to. I didn't even have to blink an eye. I said, Gayla, and We Will Survive Cancer. So,
God bless you. It was one of the most wonderful things that's happened to us. It was just amazing, and we're forever grateful to you, Susan.
If I had my bell, I'd be ringing it this whole segment, but I left it. I don't know.
Yes, and the rest is history. And so, but let me just add this, because I think people may have gotten confused. I think some people think that $10,000 that was presented recently last Friday was the same $10,000 from last October on my birthday, the presentation at Macy's. This is actually the second $10,000, so it's a total of $20,000 within 7 months from Macy's.
Yes. Absolutely amazing. I know.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Susan. I know I have a picture of Susan on the staircase and then a picture of her event, and I like to show that at this time because Susan, I'm actually there. You are. Oh, look at her!
I know. She has on yellow shoes.
Yeah. You're so gorgeous. And of course, her Grandiosity event on July 13th. Please support her Cigars and Guitars Polo and Jazz Festival. I'll be there. We'll be there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Susan. We love you and keep up the great work. You are grand indeed.
Thank you, ladies. Have a grand evening. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I love her. I love her. So let's talk a little bit more about this event, right? Because there was just so much going on. I know Josie's here. She's going to have a little beauty segment.
I know. She did our makeup.
Yes, and your makeup was exquisite.
I know. She made me look good. Boy,
girl, she did. It wasn't hard. I know, right? It wasn't hard. But, I mean, look at that. Bam, boom, pow. Well, what I'd like to just for our audience is, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a 501c3 or who wants to do something and like you said, you never had cancer, but you're making a big, huge difference in that. What would you say to that person?
I would say that you have to have so much inner strength that you don't even know that you have. Yeah. There's so many times that you want to say, I can't do this anymore. Why, I'm the only one working, or there are 2 or 3 of us that are working. Kimberly Warfield and Lisa Spoden and Greg Davis are champions to We Will Survive Cancer. I don't know what we would have done without them because they are founding members and they've just been behind us all the way and they put up with me when that's not easy sometimes. I don't mean to be, but I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah, but you're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart.
Well, I'm also very fair and I'm also very forgiving, and I believe that as a charity, you have to accept and embrace everyone.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even if they do things that you're not happy with, you have to forgive them and you have to move on.
Yes.
And because we're human, we all have problems that nobody knows what's going on with each of us every day, and it's very important to. Forgiving was a hard lesson for me to learn, but
For me
once
too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I could ever learn it, but I did learn.
Praise
and
God.
yes, and it's the most wonderful accomplishment actually for me that I've ever had.
Yeah, because you escape from yourself.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as I said, we all have issues. We all do things we wish we hadn't done. We make decisions that we wish we hadn't done.
But one decision I'm surely proud of is becoming friends with you.
Well,
And
I
getting
love
to
you.
know you, and I will make everything up to you next year for the 11th. I will indeed. And could you give me your information, how they can get a hold of you, maybe donate, volunteer?
Sure. Our website is www.wewillsurvivecancer.org. My email is gailabynum@mac.com. And my phone number is on the webpage. And we have a Facebook page. We have a Don't Waste My Cancer page.
Yes,
and
I love that
We Will
page.
Survive Cancer. And we're just getting a new one, which will be for Celebration of Life.
I love it. I love it.
Because
Well,
that's our
thank you.
signature event.
Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh,
thank you
thank
for
you.
coming. Thank you for all that you do. And I'm looking forward to everything else that you're doing as well.
Oh, thank
Okay?
you. Thank you so much.
Okay. We Will Survive Cancer, a wonderful organization. Please give, please volunteer, please let Gayla know that you're here and go on her social media. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with a beauty tip and then Dr. George C. Fraser from the Power Networking Conference. He just walked in the door, y'all.
Hi, this is Dr. George Fraser, and I want to welcome you to the 18th Annual Power Networking Conference featuring the one and only Damon John and 50 other experts in the field of business and money management and wealth creation from all over the world. Join us again and connect, grow, and prosper.
This is not about me. This is not about me. This is about we. This is about we. It takes teamwork. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. To make the dream work. We have the timber. We have the timber. Let us build. Let us build.
Hi, this is Dr. George Fraser, and I want to welcome you to the 18th Annual Power Networking Conference featuring the one and only Damon John and 50 other experts in the field of business and money management and wealth creation from all over the world. Join us again.
Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the Renee Allen Friends Show. I am sitting here with celebrity makeup artist Josie Valdez of Josie's Faces. I am so excited.
Hello, guys.
She is actually going to give us beauty tips today. Woo! I was so excited.
Yes, so
and you're so beautiful.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank
I
you.
love you. I
I
love
love
all of
you
you.
too.
And look, we didn't call each other,
No,
okay?
see, that's what divas
See?
do.
So, yeah, exactly. So, as you guys know, today I went live on my Facebook and everybody's like, oh my God, I want to go on Renee and Alan show. So, I made this glowy look on my Facebook. You can get all of the videos on there, what to apply. We're also looking for any businesses, any businesses out there that do any clothing or any makeup lines to please contact us because we are promoting businesses. We are promoting a lot of stuff. For instance, these earrings have been donated to me. So whatever you guys need, we're here for you. But as far as the glam, as you know, our video is on. And today we did a glowy look. Ladies, summertime is here. Yes. You guys have to moisturize that skin, girls, because the sun is going to hit it. Like right now, I'm already starting to sweat. Yes. That's why you have to apply less foundation.
She looks like a goddess.
Less foundation, more moisturizer, exfoliate that skin because that sun breaks your skin apart. Get your facials, even the men, you know, and I cater to a lot of men as well. And I said that on my video. The gentlemen also need to learn how to exfoliate their skin, take care of their skin because we all age, and as you know, wrinkles start appearing. But if you massage your face and you do your exfoliation, your skin will glow. So this is actually one of the glow skins.
It is glowing, y'all.
If you guys follow my page, you guys will get all the tips and the tricks on how to get this look.
I love it. If you were sitting next to her, you would really see it. I mean, hopefully, Igor, can you come in a little bit on her face, on Josie's face? It's so gorgeous. It is glowing, and I really want them to see the effect of it.
Guys,
That's
so,
okay.
You know,
that's all right.
Please apologize.
Yes. Bam, boom, pada.
And by the way, guys, I am wearing the Josie's Faces lashes, and $5 of the purchases of these lashes will go to We Will Survive Cancer.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So once they're all up on my website, you can purchase them. And, you know, we want to get these ladies glammed, you know, at Howard. You know, we do them every month. We get them glammed, and we want to do the same thing for everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
That's all you're getting today, y'all. But we're gonna work out a
schedule.
Tease. Yes, a little
this
tease.
This is a tease. Yes, go on my page, guys.
Well, thank you so much, Josie.
Thank you.
We will be right back with Dr. George C. Fraser with the Power Networking Conference and all this great stuff he's doing and has dedicated his life to. Stay right there.
Bye.
Thank you.
It's all about the little things. I miss the little things. I should be getting over it. I thought I wouldn't give a but look at me. Now I'm such a wreck. Over, 'cause I couldn't see the big picture. Oh no, no, no. 'Cause I couldn't see the big picture. Oh no. No, no. It's the little things. Yeah. I was looking for you, baby. It's all about the little things. All about the discovery. All about the way you got me. All about the way I felt when you came around. And the way you picked me up when I was down. 'Cause it's all about the little things. All about remembering. All about the way it used to be. It's all about the little things. I miss the little things. It's all about the little things. All about discovering. All about the way you got me. It's all about the way I felt. I know you love me. The way you picked me up when I was down. 'Cause it's all about the little things. All about remembering. All about the way it used to be. You see, it's all about the little things. Now I miss the little things. I couldn't see it. No. Don't you ever leave me.
Yes, and I want them to know he's coming.
Ta-da. There should be a drum roll.
All right, welcome back to the Renee Allen and Friends Show. I am super excited to bring to you one of the busiest men in the world, doing all kinds of great things for the community, for our community and beyond. Dr. George C. Fraser. If I had my bell, ding, ding, ding.
Padow, padow,
Padow.
padow.
How are you, sir?
Wonderful, good to be with you, and this is really cool, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm loving this. I'm smelling weed and I'm getting high. And
Yeah, we're across from Howard University.
Oh yeah, well, Howard University.
HU,
Everybody's smoking over there. Hey. Huh?
You remember
So
college
no, it's great.
days.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Been there, done that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good to be with you.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you for coming. I know you earlier today you were at the Keller Williams.
Yes.
And tell him a little bit about that, because this is what he does all throughout the United States and beyond.
Well,
and today you did that.
So it was a momentous day at Keller Williams because at 74 years old, this was my 3,247th speech. All right,
yes.
Over 40 years, 8.5 million frequent flyer miles,
My
6
God.
best-selling books, and somebody figured out that I might have something to say
Yes,
with
sir.
1 million published words by McGraw-Hill and HarperCollins.
Yes.
So I was giving a talk about the birth of a new nation, right? Fraser Nation, and the Power Networking Conference where we're going to birth that nation
Yes.
on June the 27th
Yes,
in
sir.
Houston, Texas, our 18th anniversary
Wow.
conference. Power Networking was named by Forbes magazine as one of the top 5 conferences in America not to be missed.
Yes, sir.
Right? Not one of the top 5 black conferences.
Right.
One of the top 5 of all conferences.
All conferences.
That's what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
that's
Up in
what I'm
here.
talking about.
Up in here. All right. Absolutely.
sir. Yes,
so I want to invite everyone who's watching us to join us in Houston, Texas. There'll be over 1,000 people. There'll be 45 speakers, movers, shakers, decision makers,
Yeah.
power brokers, 40 workshops, plenary sessions, town hall meeting, networking. You know, I specialize in talking about the power and the
Yeah.
importance of the relationships in our lives.
Yes.
So there'll be plenty of that. There'll be partying, right? We have our Wakanda experience party.
Yes.
Everybody dresses up in African attire that is so
Yes,
beautiful.
sir.
And it's a place where you can make powerful contacts. It's a place where you can gain access to the resources, coaching, and training that you need to take your business, to take your life, to take our community, to take our people, to take our culture to the next level.
Yes.
And it's a place where we teach fundamentally how we as black people must learn, earn, and return.
Yes, sir.
We've got a lot of us learning, a lot of us earning, but not enough of us returning. And I love what Robert Smith did the other day, the billionaire brother
Yes.
at Morehouse, giving the keynote address and getting an honorary doctorate degree from Morehouse, paying off the debt of 400 college grads.
Come on now.
That's some serious stuff, right?
Yes.
When you think about the creativity of giving money away that way, that not only did he wipe out $40 million of debt, he also wiped out what could have easily been $120 million of debt with interest,
Yes,
right?
yes.
When you look at $40 million in student loans and how long it takes to pay them off, and the interest that you pay, and the compounding effect, that could have easily been $120 million of debt.
My sister, my sister's daughter, Shayna, is still paying for Howard, and she's been
Oh,
out
yeah.
of school
What-
about 4 years.
How many years?
She's been out of Howard 4 years ago. I think 4 or 5 years ago she
Right.
graduated, but she's still paying humongous bills.
Yeah, they say the average debt's about 150 grand. So Matt, 150 grand times 400 people.
Yeah.
That's a nice piece of cheese. So anyway, so these are the kinds of things that we aggregate our people and community around, and we, at the Power Networking Conference, we believe that the two most important subjects that must be discussed endlessly and for the next 100 years in the black community is business and money. Business and money, and helping our people understand why wealth is important, right?
Yeah.
And to move us from a very egregious state of financial illiteracy, because we're a financially illiterate people, as evidence of the $1.5 trillion
My God.
economy that we bring to the table of America every year, and it goes in one direction away from us, and everybody has our money but us. And so we need to fix that. We need to be recycling those dollars in the black community and leveraging more effectively our collective resources and intellectual capital. We're brilliant people. We are just a disconnected people and a dispersed people. There's nothing wrong with dispersion. I live in Cleveland, you live in Prince George's County. That's
Right.
dispersion. But we don't need to be disconnected. Very interesting factoid I was reading about the other day. Our Jewish brothers and sisters, do you know that there are only 15 million Jews in the entire world?
No.
15 million. There are 46 million black people in America. Only 15 million Jewish people in the entire world. And the percentage of wealth that they control is absolutely disproportionate to the size of their population globally. I mean, there are 1.3 billion people of African descent, and we don't control even a fraction of the wealth of our 15 million Jewish brothers and sisters. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, Dr. Fraser, why is that? And we talk about that at the Power Networking Conference.
Yeah.
And that's because Jewish people are just brilliant enough to understand and to act like this. They're like this.
Come on, sir.
They're
Yes.
deeply connected. They trust each other. They love each other. They are about and for each other, and they help others too. But they are about their thing. Black people are like this, right? We're not only dispersed, but we're disconnected from the best and brightest in our community.
From the
I tell-
earliest part of Willie
yeah,
Lynch, I'm sure.
I tell black
right?
people all the time, I don't care what it is that you want to do. I can introduce you to a black person somewhere in this country already doing to death. You just don't know them. And therefore, you're right here in Washington, D.C., trying to reinvent the wheel, as opposed to trying to think about strategic alliances, joint ventures, partnerships, right? Getting the proper coaching, getting the proper training. We have black people. There are 46 million of us here. I've traveled every place that black people have been dispersed. I've been to South Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, West Africa, all over North Africa, all over South America, and all over the Caribbean. And there are no black people in the entire world doing better than we are right here in America. And we know that to whom much is given, much is required. And so we are not properly using, organizing, aggregating, leveraging our collective resources and intellectual capital. I did a calculation about 5 years ago on the value of the intellectual capital of black baby boomers in America. There are about 500 billion hours of formal education and professional training just among black baby boomers. Yeah. If you wanted to put a $10 value on that per hour and try to get an education or professional training for $10 an hour here in America, but let's be conservative for the sake of this discussion, that would mean that our collective intellectual capital base from one generation alone of black baby boomers is worth in excess of $5 trillion, right? So that money is not, and that human capital, intellectual capital, is not being properly used. Everybody is using it, everybody is leveraging it, everybody is gaining from it in significant ways. But us, we've been here 400 years. This is our 400-year anniversary, black people in America.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
And we're still at the bottom of every single economic and educational statistic in this country.
Yeah,
400 years later.
Yeah, that's sad.
Right? We're still
Yeah.
the poorest people in America, and we still have the worst education systems in urban communities, right? So who's going to fix that? How is
I
that
know
going
you're
to
doing
get
a big
fixed?
part of that.
Yeah.
I know you are, and I wanted to say, and that's why I'm
Excuse for the
so-
rant, but that's
No,
just
it's
the
not.
facts.
No, you. It's not a rant. It's something that we all need to hear, and I could listen to you all the rest of my life and not get enough information. I respect this man so much, and I've been knowing him since the early '80s, and he's been very consistent. He's never wavers, and he's about the betterment of our people. And I told him on the way over here because I picked him up. I said, George, it really surprises me, and I get so perplexed and frustrated that I meet black people who don't know you. to me, that's like not knowing Martin Luther King. I mean, yes, he's a legacy who passed, but you're a walking, living legacy. And so it really is preposterous to me. And so I wanted to bring you on, and I'll bring you on as much as I can, as long as I'm living, because I think that every person, especially of color, but every person needs to know Dr. George C. Fraser. And everyone needs to experience the Power Networking Conference. So tell them why. We do have a flyer. Damon's going to be there. And
Damon John.
Yes, Damon John.
Damon John from Shark Tank is one of our guests this year, one of many superstars that show up. Every major black person worth their salt over the last 18 years has spoken at the Power Networking Conference.
Yes, sir.
So we're very, very proud of that. We attract the best and brightest talent. So this year, Damon John from Shark Tank, I'll be doing a special interview with him. And then a whole series of others. I mean, there's no need to name drop. What you need to do, if you are about expanding your knowledge, if you're about building your capacity to build your business and to do better business and more business, because see, I don't believe that black people lack opportunity. This is the greatest country in the world. We do not lack opportunity. That's BS. What we lack is capacity. And so the 21st century for black people has to be about building our capacity to take advantage of those opportunities, and that's what we do. We have, ours is a hands-on training workshop. We do not have speakers who pontificate ad nauseum about our issues. We don't even deal with the social and civic issues of black people. The NAACP does that. The Urban League does that. The Congressional Black Caucus does that. They've spent 100 years each doing that. We don't do that. We talk about business and money.
Yes, sir.
Because at the end of the, that's the bottom line. In a market-based economy, in a democratic capitalist society, the only color that really matters in this country is green.
Come on now.
Put $2 billion next to your black name and see how much racism matters. Ask Robert Smith, who just gave those kids at Morehouse $40 million. See how much racism, this is a chocolate brother too, see how much racism Robert Smith is experienced with $2.3 billion next to his name. Now, money is not my God. But it's right up there with oxygen and water. So let me see any human being try to live without it in this country without it. It is not possible. We just don't focus enough on it. We are financially illiterate. Our money goes in one direction away from us. We don't do the right things by our money. We don't manage our money. We don't understand the 4 pillars for the intergenerational transfer of wealth. We're outside of our own spiritual teaching. Proverbs 13:22 tells us a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Well, the baby boomers, black baby boomers, according to USA Today front page, will be the first generation of Africans in America to raise another generation of Africans in America that will not do better than them. So in the 400-year history of our people in this country, we're the only generation to raise another generation that will be worse off. We need our asses kicked, right? Count me out of that. I will not contribute to that statistic. Shame on us. Bottom line, end of sentence. White people will not be saving black people. Right? They ain't even thinking about us. White people are saving white people. They're thinking about their husbands, their wives, their children, their schools, their businesses, their neighborhoods, and their communities first. And you can't hate on them for that, because that's what we ought to be doing. We ought to be thinking about our husbands, our wives, our children, our culture, our family. Right? That's what we ought to be. Right?
Yeah.
You can't blame Asians for not thinking about us. They ain't thinking about us. They're thinking about them. They ain't trying to save us. They're trying to save them. Right? Now, if they got a little something left over and they like you, you might get a little something. But when that happens, you know what that makes you? A second-class citizen, which is all we are. We are still, 400 years later in America, second-class citizens. We are second on everything, last on most things.
How do we do better, George? How do we do better? Because some people will die without knowing you. I cry about this sometimes when I think about our families and how my father never had a mentor. And so how do we fix this? How do we start going into a trajectory of betterment economically and just love between our races, dark as night, white as light? How do we do it?
I think we are beyond the age of persuasion. We're now in the age of mobilization and unification. So we must mobilize and unify. We must connect the dots. We must mobilize and unify. And we must create a nation. That's what the Power Networking Conference will be doing.
Yes.
We will be launching and birthing a new nation, Fraser Nation,
Ooh, come on
citizens
now.
of generational wealth.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
It's nation building time. Right? Now it'll be a virtual nation with no borders and no boundaries. Right? And it'll be a place where people can access the best and brightest and the tremendous base of resources that exist within our community. We can use social media, we can use the website. What the hell has Mark Zuckerberg done with 3 billion people? He has created basically his own nation.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah.
A nation of 3
doing
billion
nothing.
people, right, who just sort of talk to each other and show each other
Wasting
crazy
hours of
pictures.
time to
So
just
it
like
can be done.
somebody's
So he's used technology. We can use technology. We've never had this before. So that's what we're going to do.
Yes,
That's what we're going to do. We're going to have
glory
our
to
own
God.
flag.
Yeah.
We have our own financial literacy program called WINS, a wealth building centers that
Yes,
is
sir.
faith-based, and a curriculum that's going to go into 10,000 churches free of charge to put together a wealth building center in our faith-based community. Because if you're going to educate around finances, which we have to do.
Yes.
Right? What's the first thing slaves did when they became free? They began building small classrooms in small schools, and within 100 years, we had an entire system of historically black colleges and universities. So now we're starting a nation, and we are financially illiterate. You have to educate your people. So we're going to start with financial literacy and financial education. We have a 501c3, and there's plenty of funding out there in the public and private sector. There is an emphasis in America on financial literacy, right? So there's money for that, and we have the raw talent to do that. There are 230,000 black people in America licensed in a financial service. Most of them are unutilized and underutilized. They could serve as trainers in their own church, teaching their own congregations the right way to use, leverage, and manage money, right? So we have everything we need to succeed. God has given black people everything they need to succeed. We have everything we need to succeed except each other. Jews have each other, East Indians have each other, Asians have each other, Arabs have each other. We don't have each other. The minute we unify, in fact, one final thing. J. Edgar Hoover, many, many years ago, was asked a question. He was asked, Mr. Hoover, what do you, from your perspective, see as the greatest threat to the United States of America? I posted this on my social media.
Yeah, I actually saw
J.
it.
Edgar Hoover, this is in a book. J. Edgar Hoover simply responded, Negro unity. That's what he said. That was his answer. If black people unified, that would be a huge threat to America.
Wow.
The purpose of slavery, if you read the Willie Lynch letter, was to disconnect us and to not only mitigate, but to disrupt our freedom. We were written in the Constitution and Declaration of Independence technically, but it didn't really apply to us. Our freedom was thwarted. And when you thwart a people's freedom, you also thwart their ability to unify. And when you thwart or diminish or mitigate their ability to unify, you decrease their progress.
But we
So-
never got the 40 acres and a mule. We never
No,
did
promise.
it,
It was
right?
written, never
Yes.
promised. So many,
So foundations, we just never were able to catch up.
There are
is what I'm
lots of
saying.
reasons we're this way. It's not in our DNA, right? If you look at the systemic racism that still exists in this country, the structural isms
Ooh, especially with
for
the
400
person we
years.
have at the 1600 on Pennsylvania Avenue.
There you go. So we were free about 1864. And then we had another 100 years of Jim Crow, black codes, all kinds of segregation that really diminished our ability to accumulate and to leverage and to grow our wealth. That's why the wealth gap between blacks and whites in America, white people have, in terms of annual net or median value, household median value and income is 10 to 15 times higher than black people 400 years later. Wow. 400 years later.
Well,
right?
you know, I could talk to you for 3 days.
So we're going to fix it.
Yes, I want. Well, what are we going to do for our viewers for the Power Networking Conference? Can you put up the form one more time, Igor? Because I know we only have 2 minutes left. And this, I'm telling you, I need hours to sit with you, George. Hours. But there's another form.
I know you played the video too a couple of times at the beginning.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
It's a powerful conference, right?
Yes,
right.
sir. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's what I want them to do. If you want to see more about the Power Networking Conference, just go to powernetworkingconference.com. This is our 18th year. Forbes named us one of the top 5 conferences in America not to be missed. So go to powernetworkingconference.com and see about the conference. If you're interested in a super special deal, because if you go there and buy it on the conference, you're going to pay a lot of money to get in. But we're going to give you a super special deal. I'm not going to say it on the air. You're going to have to email me, say I'm in. Make sure
Renee Allen and Friends.
That's right. Right. Email me at G Fraser, F-R-A-S as in Sam, E-R. That's G as in George, Fraser, F-R-A-S as in Sam, E-R, at frasernet.com. Say I'm in, put your name and your cell number, and I will make you an offer you cannot refuse. This is a place that you need to be. You need to be there so that you can be one of the first citizens of Fraser Nation. We will teach our people to learn, earn, and return.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can also, up until when, George? Because they can actually go to my Facebook or inbox me as well. But how long is this special that?
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay.
24
Yeah, you want to take advantage of that. It changed my life 8 years ago with Sisters for Sisters Network, an organization that I adored. I'm the secretary of. And I met George in the early 80s. But until I got with Sister for Sisters Network, I didn't really get to know what it was about. And it is life-changing, game-changing. So, last words, George?
Chart a good and righteous course. Stay that course. Then all that is due you will come to you.
God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I think we have 1 minute to actually let you see a snippet of my girlfriend, Renee's song. But God bless you. I'm not sure. But we'll see you next week. Thank you again, George.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.